And honorary ladies, there are a few gentlemen in the room, and you have to be a very special kind of guy to get an invitation to this afternoon. I'm going to keep this very brief because I'm going to bore you a little bit later on. So just a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, there are no fire alarms planned. And secondly, anyone who's been to these awards before will have come armed either with a box of tissues or a handkerchief up the sleeve. Can you remember when we used to put handkerchiefs up sleeves? Because this is an afternoon which I think will see a few tears shed. And I'm hoping some of those will be tears of laughter, and I know some of those will be emotional tears. So let me just say that after lunch, if you haven't bought tissues with you, and you haven't got a handkerchief stuck up your sleeve, go and raid the lovely loos at the Lowry and get yourself a handful because you're going to need them. And on that note, I'm going to introduce you to our very first inspiring woman in an afternoon of remarkable inspiring women. The founder of the Inspiring Women Awards, the person who's kept these awards going for 33 years, Jacqueline Hughes-Lundy.
So good afternoon and welcome to the 33rd Annual Inspiring Women Awards. They were meant as a one-off back in 1993, but I'm a girl that just can't say no, so here we are. Over the years, we've welcomed Olympic medal winners, TV personalities and newsreaders, celebrity chefs, actors, award-winning film producers, dames of the realm, leading businesswomen, and even a Hollywood film producer. A wonderful random selection of interesting and inspiring people who add that little extra sparkle. And I'm delighted to welcome our 2025 guest award announcers that will be sprinkling their own little dust, magic dust, to the proceedings. We have a quartet of talented and inspiring women in print. 3 guest award announcers and 1 MC. As women working in the printed media field, they have broken down barriers, they have crashed through glass ceilings, excelled in their chosen fields, and taken the world by storm. Welcome Maria Breslin. I haven't met you yet, actually. Hello, Maria. Editor of the Manchester Evening News. Sarah Lester, editor of Liverpool. You coordinated. Oh my God. God, we've failed already, Joanne. And Claire McIntosh, who's a global, award-winning author, and Joanne Goodwin, who is editor of Cheshire Life, and you'll be hearing a little bit more about them later. We have 15 fantastic women for you to listen to. Unfortunately, one lady has literally, in the last hour, said she can't make it because she's ill, so we now have 14. And those that can't join us today, we've pre-recorded in advance. Thank you to our sponsors, Deloitte, Hull Brown, Premier Wealth and Village Green for all their generosity and support, and sponsors Cheshire Life and Lancashire Life, who will be providing full coverage in their July editions. But before we listen to our finalists, I thought I would give you an insight into how these decisions are made, starting with the Constance Award. Believe it or not, that actually took 4 hours of filming. So I mentioned the Constance Award there. And the Constance Award is presented in memory of my mum, Connie. And I say every year, thank goodness she wasn't called Aggie, because it wouldn't have quite the same ring to it. For most of us, our mothers are our earliest role models, our cheerleaders quietly supporting us and protecting us when needed. Always there to lift our moods and say just the right thing to get us back on track. We do not seek nominations for this award, as it's in my gift, and is only presented to those women who I believe epitomise those qualities. Since its inception in 2018, only 4 women have been recipients of this award, now 5. The 2025 Constance Award recipient is Carol Ann Whitehead.
Sorry about the dancing. I can't resist it. Every time there's a bit of music on, I've got to shake my booty. Thank you so much. This is just, I'm lost. I am lost for words, and yes, I was sat at the back, putting my hand up and causing trouble. This is a fantastic role and spirit from the Amplifying Muted Voices campaign that I wrote for 50/50 Parliament. Not just empowering women of colour to get into politics, but northern women. There's not enough northern women who've got a seat at the table. There is still that southern-northern divide. And I stood in the House of Commons in 2023, and I said to Sir Lindsay Hoyle, listen, I need you to support me, because allies, there are men in the room that are allies, I need you to support me so that I can actually run the campaign for 50/50 Parliament and empower northern women to get a seat at the table. I engaged almost 500 women to think about politics, to think about getting on boards, and to think about going through the council chambers and becoming an MP. That journey and that trajectory is on its way. It's bubbling in the background. And yes, the local elections were disappointed. But do you know what? That's only one blip. We can do a lot more. And throwing right back to 2019, when I was asked to go to the United Nations to mentor United Nations youth in Denmark, again, those breadcrumbs from 2019 now to 2025, they're doing some great things in different countries around the world. And it's from a northern woman who loves a bit of zebra, a bit of animal print from Manchester. I do things in unconventional ways. And my mum used to always quote to me and say, and it was a Denzel Washington quote, sometimes people don't like your spirit because it upsets their demons. Sodom. Denzel Washington didn't say that bit, she did. But listen, ladies and gents, push against the door, push for what's right, because at the end of the day, a great African proverb is, if you want to go fast, you go alone. Bridget, what's the rest of it? If you want to go far, we go together. Thank you so much.